Good day, everybody. So we are now on another new lesson, and this is the final lesson before we have our first quarter exam. Okay, for this semester. And tandaan nyo lang na ang pointers would be from the very beginning, which is of course from lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, 4, and 5. Okay? And this is lesson 5. And do not expect the exam for the quarter exam to be just recall lang ang mga items. Okay? We will have recall items. Okay? May mga ara kita recall items nga sabta ninyo. Okay? Pero may i-incorporate ko or butangan ko gid sang mga pamangkot nga um, that will test your higher order thinking skills. Ina bala class ang i-test gid if you really understood the lesson, especially the way we discuss via this video. Okay? Then I hope that you are all watching the videos from the very beginning. Again, send ko sa group chat to bala ang gin-discuss ang lesson 1. Okay? I just sent it through the group chat lang. Nga gin-screen record ko lang. And then the lesson 2, gin-upload ko na gid sa YouTube. 3, 4, and this one, ang lesson 5. Now, I also presented to you your performance task, right? So I hope you're doing your performance task because as what I said, the deadline of it will be on October 16 at exactly 11:59 p.m. All right? Then after that, there's no submission at all. Okay? I will not allow any other submissions because you were given enough time to make your performance task, okay, and to make your output. So I hope that wala may malate. All right. Today we're going to tackle about last time the last lesson that we tackled about visual arts, right? We focused on visual arts, contemporary visual arts. Today, or on this lesson, we are going to tackle about performing arts. As what I've said, this is now going to be an in-depth discussion of whatever it is that we need to discuss, okay, on visual arts and performing arts. All right, so before we go, this is now the lesson 5. Before we go to the acquire part, because that's where we usually discuss the lesson, that's where you usually learn concepts and new knowledge, right? So today, before kita damagad we will first have a short introduction lang of this lesson and then i-present ko sa inyo kung ano inyo ulubrahon. Alright, so before galit na mag-proceed, ipakita ko sa inyo ang schedule. Alright? So, ang schedule naton would be this one. Alright? So, this is the schedule. The schedule of sending of YouTube video links. Right? So, I hope you got that. This YouTube video links. That's it. Okay? So, sa Rotterdam 8, Shanghai 10, Hong Kong 3 p.m. I would always include this on my videos because this is how you're going to make yourself aware, okay, kung paano saan unyo i-expect ang mga video links sa YouTube nga i-send ko sa inyo. Alright? So that's the schedule and the title of our discussion for today would be about it's chapter 1, lesson 5, C1L5, Contemporary Performing Arts. Okay? I put another date here, discussed and shared link to sections on October 5. So today is October 5, 2020, and this is Monday. Alright? So tandaan nyo na. As what I said, okay? So as what I said, you have to have a notebook and a ball pen kaya pa hindi na ako mabalakas magbalik-balik bala lantaw sang video if you have forgotten or kung nalipatan mo ang mga information or mga announcement, at least you had already the copy, kaya naglantaw ka, then you are taking down notes. And because of it, hindi ka na maguyang time mo, kaya I know nga damo ka pa ya ulubrahon sa ibang mga subjects, hindi ka na maguyang time mo nga balikan mo pang akon nga gin-discuss sa video, okay? Just because you have forgotten something, okay? Or just because may nalipatan ka. Alright? So now, that's the title of our discussion for today. Then the activities that you need to do for this lesson are the following. Alright? For lesson 5, amo ni siya acquire. Ang acquire nga part, amo ginang aton fokusan. Okay? Kaya dira kita ma-discuss. As what you've noticed, wala activate nga part. I will not publish the activate nga part kaya hindi nyo na kinanglan ansiran ang activate nga part. Alright? So I hope you got that. Listan nyo na nga daan sa inyong notebook na para hindi ka malipat. Alright? So wala activate nga part. You go directly sa acquire nga part or you listen to this discussion. Okay? To this video, tapuson nyo. As what I said, right? I have a way of checking kung sino ang galantaw sa mga YouTube video. May mga times class, okay, padakuon ko na yung camera ko para explain ko lang mayo. Okay? May mga times class nga makita ko kung gin-pause, alright? Makita ko gin-pause ang video, nakita ko na siya. Then, makita ko kung pila ka time natapos ang video. Okay? For example, ang video will just be 20 minutes. Then, kay gin-pause mo, okay, then ginabalik-balikan mo lang, then makita ko na ang duration. Yung duration mo is mga 2 hours. Although it was just supposed to be 20 minutes lang. Pero kinag-pause ka, then gibalikan mo lang. As long as natapos mo, makita ko kung natapos mo. Alright? Tapos makita ko na class kung gin-forward mo. Why? For example, gin-forward mo, the video would just be for 20 minutes. Then, kay gina-forward mo lang siya, sa duration, makita ko ang 5 minutes lang, kagin forward, basta ka lang sa announcement and everything, right? So that's, you have to be aware of that because I'm checking on that, right? So that's it. So may kita ha, wala kita activate nga part, dito sa acquire nga part, then apply nga part. Okay? May ara kita nga apply nga part. Ano sir ang apply nga part? Answer na siya, yes. Ang apply nga part is a quiz. Okay? This is a 15-item quiz regarding this lesson. Okay? So, 15-item quiz siya class. Then, I will open it right after na-send ko na sa inyo ang link nga ini. Okay? Ang video nga ini. Abang ginalantaw nyo siya, open na ina ang apply nga part. Okay? So, answer it right away. So, i-open ko siya by Monday. Alright? So, i-open ko siya by Monday. Then, on Wednesday, on another discussion that we will have, because that's the continuation of this lesson, sa Wednesday, i-open ko ang assess nga part. Sir, saan mo i-open ang assess nga part? Wednesday. I-open mo, sir, Monday, hindi. Saan mo i-open? Wednesday. Alright? So, i-open ko na siya by Wednesday, then, class, as what I said, this is a hard quiz that needs a thorough understanding, so please study well. So, dali na di class, it will test your understanding of the lesson. Okay? So, amo na class ang aton nga palingban. Alright? So, kabay pa nga you will really study and understand every concept and knowledge that we will be tackling on this lesson. Alright? So, this is a hard quiz. So, I hope that you are going to study for this lesson. Now, when is going to be the deadline nga i-close ko, sir? Nga i-close nimo, sir? Okay? Ang M-rooms or ang lesson nga chapter, nga lesson 5. Okay? Saan mo na i-close, sir? I-close ko na class on Sunday or Domingo, October 11, 2020, 11:59 p.m. I-close ko ang bilog nga lesson 5, except for the acquire part. Kaya the acquire part, this will be left sa inyong nga M-rooms because that's how you're going to study for the upcoming first quarter exam. Alright? So, ibilin ko lang na ang acquire nga part, pero the apply and the assess nga part, I will close it right after 11:59. Alright? So, kabay pa that you will really answer it because I will not give chances at all sa mga makwa pa kay na late lang kay inoyaya. Alright? So, saan mo naman sir i-turn off ang comment section sa YouTube? Saan mo i-turn off na kon? I will turn it off on Sunday, Domingo man, October 11, and at exactly 11:59 p.m., i-close ko naman ang comment section so that hindi na ka mo makakomment. Kaya kung wala ka comment, then wala ka score. Alright? So that's the deadline. Now we're going to proceed with our discussion. And I hope you got all the information na ginhambal ko. Ay na siya. We're going to discuss about contemporary performing arts. Alright? So, the previous lesson introduced you to the different collection of contemporary visual artworks, and these artworks reflect the artist's identity, right? So we discussed about visual arts, and this showed sa discussion it showed ano ayan ang mga inspiration, di na yan kakuha sa mga hugot, ang mga artist, okay? Sino sila? What is their identity, right? Ano ilang ang mga issues na ginatakol, right? Pressing social issues, sceneries, and Filipino daily life. This lesson will further enhance the pool of information you have on contemporary works as we will delve into the stage of contemporary performing arts. Now we're going to go to acquire part. Alright, so we're going to proceed now to our discussion. Our discussion for this lesson will be divided into 3 parts. Okay, we will have music, dance, and theater. Okay, all of these 3 categories, all of them are under performing arts. So you have to take note of it. Now, we're going to start with pop music. And with music, I mean. And when we talk about music, Filipinos, as we know, of course, as you know, we are really musically inclined, right? Musically inclined kita always. Because what do you think are some of the factors na nag-influence sa aton nga mga Pilipino nga why we really love music, right? Nga panangga tagid ang music. Is it because we are influenced or we are trained from the very beginning? Okay, so some of the factors might be because first of all, we love karaoke, right? Ga-videoke kita whenever we have available time. And even though wala gan available time, as long as we want to have a pastime, okay, we use it as a pastime, ga-videoke kita. Diba? Like each household na makita mo in the Philippines really possess this karaoke set nga gina-play nila. Kag of course, ginakantahan. Alright? So, iban pa rin nga factors could be, it's because may mga gina-admire kita nga mga celebrities or artists, musicians nga makita ta sa TV or mabatian ta sa radio, right? And as you know, in the Philippines, uso gidaklas as long as nga taas imong tingog, right? Nga as long as makabirit ka, kay sikat ka, right? Ikaw gid ang ginatingala. For example, in singing competitions, right? As long as ikaw yaklas ang pinaka-taas tingog, okay, dako imo laban, right? Pero gani i-compare nila kuno ang performance kuno when it comes to music, ang standard sa mga Pinoy, okay, ang standard sa mga Pinoy, kung sino ginayaklas ang taas, amo ginayang nami, right? Which is, do you agree with that? At some point, may mga araman singers nga tagas-tagas tingog, kag nami gid man niya. Okay, because they express themselves with emotions, they sing with all their hearts, okay? Pero may mga araman nga daan class nga expression of singing from different style, right? So, different style ila ginagamit, which will not make it less, okay, as a performance, right? Kung nubo iya tingog ya ma-express in R&B, as long as ma-convey iya self ya or ang emotion sang kanta, ang message sang kanta in the most proper and artistic way, even though hindi siya taas class, okay, that can still be considered beautiful, right? And that can still be considered powerful. Okay? Hindi lang na class ang mga tagas-tagas ng mga ano because 'di ba? Gapati ka muna. That's the standard of the Filipinos. Okay? Then and you have to take note nga ang music in the Philippines kidya is mainly influenced by na-develop siya class gradually, magamba kita gradually, amat-amat, na-develop siya class because of a lot of influences coming from the different colonizers or different nga mga lahi balaklas nga nag-inhabit sa aton nga lugar. And in that manner, the music that we have today is the product of all the developments that music had been through with all those years from Spanish to Japanese to Americans, okay? So tanan to nag-contribute sa factor or nag-contribute sa music that we have today. So enough of that, kay i-discuss naman na later. Okay? Filipinos are known worldwide for their artistry in different fields of art, right? Amo na gani sometimes class ginabag nila basta Pinoy a class, mga talented gidya, right? Not only do they excel in visual arts, okay, as what we have discussed, but also considered as world-class performers in terms of music, dance, and theater. And I know you are very much aware of it. Okay? In music, now we are going to talk about music. Filipinos are known worldwide as powerhouse in singing. Okay? I do agree with it because, di ba may notion na gani nga daw or sa YouTube na maglantaw ka sa mga YouTube, sa mga different sites, as long as there is a presence of a Filipino talent, especially with singing, okay? Do ano gini class, do ara gid ba on top gid ang Pinoy dayon, di ba? Do ginamba gani kuno nila, what do you eat there in the Philippines? Okay? Do you eat microphones there? Okay? So may mga pamangkot ng mga amuna because we are very much known to have this talent in singing. Okay? And it has been proven a lot of times by many Filipinos nga nag-excel sa mga international arena, right? The likes of Charisse, di ba? Una na si Charisse again. Okay? Sino pa mga mga Pinoy? Okay, damo pagid class, right? Si Bruno Mars even have a Filipino blood, right? Damo pagid ang mga intra pagid sa mga singing competition na balakas mga America's Got Talent, right? Mga X Factor sa ibang nga lugar. And makita mo gid class nga ang Pinoy class, do hindi mo maasi-asi when it comes or do hindi mo lang class mabutang sa higad when it comes to singing. Ang magani nila kuno, no one can beat Black American talents, okay? Pero class that's bad to say Black American talents. It's bad to say Black American kuno when you refer to them. It's supposed to be African American, okay? So mambal na nakita be African American talent, okay? Ang mga people na balang ang mga black people, okay? 'Di ba they have a very strong vocal cords, okay? Ilang singing is powerful and full of emotion, though soulful katama, 'di ba? Hambal kuno nila and sikat sila class sa bilog nga kalibutan, right? Ang mga black people when it comes to singing. And ang bako nila, no one can beat them except for Filipinos. Okay? So, you have to be proud of yourself. Okay? And, di ba, amo na gurong hamba ko nga parito bala, na-develop na to ng love naton sa music. Okay? Or ang talent na to sa music because of some factors. Naging panglawag ko kanina. Right? This is since Filipinos really love music. Ang balde. It is worthy to note that contemporary music in the Philippines is a product of our indigenous traditions and colonial influences. Just like what I said earlier, nga aton nga music today that we're enjoying are all just products na lang of all the developments nga natabo sa music because of indigenous traditions. Okay? Bagambag kita class indigenous traditions. Amo ni sa class ang ginatawag ta nga ang mga katutubo bala class, okay? Or ang mga ethnic group nga play music or they have the music attached to their lives already or sa ilang kabuki. And did you know class nga 10% of our population sa bilog ng Philippines, okay, 10% of it are still practicing indigenous tradition. Okay? And when we talk about indigenous tradition, it includes already music, dance, music, and even theater. Okay? So 10% of the population of the Philippines practice indigenous tradition. Ang 8% sinaklas, ang 8%, they mostly come from sa mga Luzon nga mga island, sa mga or sa Luzon nga mga tribo, right? Or mga ethnic group, di ba kita nyo na sa mga Banawe na balang, mga Igorot, mga Amuna class, kay damo pa na da sila. Kay sa Mindanao, may ara man sa Sulu or sa Palawan, sa Mindoro, damo pa gid class ang mga different minority groups, okay? Or mga indigenous nga mga people that practice indigenous traditions, okay? And ang 8% sina, as what I said, didto nila didto makita. And they practice, gagamit sila class, they have as many as 50 languages. Okay? Ang mga 50 languages ang ila, right? Kaya ang sa parties ang Luzon be, sa mga Igorot nga part, okay, dito sa mga Cordillera, may mga language man na sila class nga daw or may dialects man na sila nga ginagamit in their community. Then pag abot naman sa Mindanao, may ara naman sila nga do different naman nga language or dialect nga ginagamit nila. Okay? So amo na ang ginambal ko nga ang mga groups nga ni have 50 languages, okay? Then ang 2% class, di ba, as what I said, ang 8% to dito makita, ang 2% class din makita, okay? They are mostly found in Mindanao and Sulu, okay? Ang mga Muslim tanga mga kapwa Pilipino, okay? So dito na sila dito makita naman ang 2% nga ga-practice gyapon sang indigenous traditions, making it 10% as population of the Philippines, okay? Next, so we're talking about the indigenous traditions, colonial influences. Now we're going to talk about our music is heavily influenced by the West. So magkabag kita West class, inabala ka sa mga party British or mga Britain, okay, or mga Americans. So dito nga parties ang kalibutan sa west side of the globe. You have learned in lesson 1 that before the Spaniards came, the indigenous music found in the country were instrumental and vocal. Okay? So even before the Spaniards came in the Philippines, may ara nakita ya class, una to niya class nga daw nga expression of music. So may music nakita. However, these were all just instrumental and vocal. Kung gagamit sila sa mga instruments or vocal lang gid class na balang do mga rituals lang, right? Musical sounds were created from various instruments and performed by different singing styles of ethnic group. Okay. So, ari class, tandaan tayo pamati gini. Though many types of indigenous music have been lost already, some artists made efforts to preserve through local music. So, sa diinta class, ang balaton because ang mga ethnic group ta, di ba, we have this type of music that existed even before the Spaniards came. And some of these types of music, okay, ara pa hasta subong. And some of it, nadula na gidya. It was lost in translation already. Nadula na gid siya sa aton nga tradition because wala na may nagamit or wala na sang pasahan balaklas, do wala na bala sang pagmanahan nga bag-o nga henerasyon kay napatay ng tanan nga tribo nga ina. Or for example, then wala naman nag-practice ang amo nga language, okay, or amo nga music. So, ang ginambal naton, pero may mga nag-exist gyapon, may naka-survive. Paano ayan ina na-survive? Paano ayan ang mga music nga ina na-survive, okay? Okay, or naka-survive? Is it because of the politicians nga ginagamit na nila nga jingle sa ilang mga tawag di, sa ilang mga kampanya, okay, or sa before election ginagamit na nila, wala na nila ginagamit class, right? So hindi ta na pag-credit sa mga politicians, okay? And is it because of sa mga eskwelahan, right? Ang mga eskwelahan ay yan gapakantagid every day, okay? Or ginatudlo ginang mga ethnic nga mga music na balaklas, okay? Ang mga ritual and everything ginatudlo na ayan. Basi may mga eskwelahan sa mga amuning nga mga tribo nga ginatudlo gina, pero not all schools in the Philippines. That's why some of it nadula na lang. Okay? Pero ang iba nakasurvive. Is it because naman na-preserve na ayan ang mga amo ng music because of the celebrities, okay? Or mga artista nga nagkanta sina? Do you think makanta na sila? Okay, ang iban siguro may care gid, pero ang iban siguro dumambal sila nga basi ay ano man naman daw ka cheap na guro or daw ka buki. Okay? So, may mga artista man gyapon pero not all of them. Alright? So sa diin ta na i-credit class na class sa mga local artist. Okay? Ang pag-preserve sang aton nga ang mga sinanguna pa or mga ethnic nga mga music, i-credit na sa mga local musicians, sa mga local artists, nga gapangampanya gid class or mga private organization nga obra gid sa mga program kay para gid class ma-preserve ang aton nga tradition. Okay? The government, of course, may program na indirang government in the name of NCCA or National Commission for Culture and the Arts. So sila na class ang gapatigayon nga para ma-preserve pagid ni ang aton nga mga music or aton nga mga traditions. Okay? Sa dance man na, sa theater man na, sa music man na, okay? They really want to preserve what is the tradition of the Philippines when it comes to performing arts. That's why may mga program sila. So, okay? So, i-credit na sa aton nga government kag sa mga local nga mga organizations or sa mga local artists. Okay? Now, we're going to proceed to knowing the different music in the Philippines. Okay? Or types of music in the Philippines. Some of it, ginagamit pagyapon as sa subong, and some of it, though medyo gamay na lang ang gagamit, pero it's still there. Okay? First one is, so before we go to Kundiman and Harana, okay, I am going to show you first ano naman ang i-comment nyo. Alright? So, ano naman ang i-comment nyo, class? This will not be grouped at all by section. Wala ko siya gin-group by section. Pero ang ginubra ko, gin-mix ko kamo tanan ang tatlo ka section, and then you're going to comment the exact time kung sa diin nakita nyo nag-appear ang inyong ngalan. Alright? Sa YouTube. Example, ipakita ko ni Be. Here. Alright? So, sa pagpakita ko sa ni, alright? So, anong makita ninyo, class? Makita nyo yung different ngalans nyo coming from different section. Alright? So, what will happen next? Anong i-comment nyo? Okay? Maisip lang ko, class, 1 to 10. Okay? 1 to 10 before ko mag-proceed naman sa another nga sa lesson ko. Alright? So, pag-isip ko dapat 1 to 10, mabalaan nyo, tandaan nyo kung anong oras nakita ninyo sa YouTube or anong nga minutes and seconds nakita nyo sa YouTube ang inyong ngalan. Alright? Then, amo nang i-comment nyo. Again, anong i-comment nyo? Your name, your whole name, your complete name, and then your section, and then ang time kung anong oras nyo nakita. Kung ano nyo na oras nakita ang inyong what do you call this? Ang inyong ngalan. Alright? So, maisip ko 1 to 10. 1. So, amo na ni siyang una. Alright? So, ano man ka-minute or seconds nag-appear ang inyong ngalan, dapat amo na ang ibutang ninyo. For example, nag-appear sa sir in 1 minute and 2 seconds sa may video until 1 minute and 12 seconds sa video. So, dapat amo nang makita ko. Alright? So, class, ano dapat ang matabo? Kung sa diin nyo nakita ang inyong ngalan or inyong list, kung sa diin nyo nakita, nga video, nga part sang lesson ta, abi subong, amo ni nga part is part 1 only. So, diri lang kamo nga part, ma-comment sa inyong ngalan. Then, sa part 2, hindi na kamo mag-comment. Alright? I hope nabatian nyo to. Kaya kung nag-appear din ngalan mo sa part 1, then, nag-appear pagid nga nag-comment kapag dito sa part 2, okay? It means wala ka na mati isang video. Wala ka na mati isang instruction. Alright? So, it means nga base nagpabulig ka lang sa friend mo, kaya nagpasend ka, ay ano tong i-comment. Then, kin-comment mo sa duwa ka video. It means, uyaya ka, wala ka ginanaglantaw sang video. Alright? So, ang among himuon na naton, kung ano ni nga video, for example, part 1 ni siya, Okay? So diri lang ka muna comment. Amo ni siya nga mga tawo, diri na sila ma-comment nga video lang. Okay? Sa diri nga part 1 sang lesson. Dito sa part 2 nga i-upload ko karon, hindi na dito mag-comment. Or sa part 3 man, hindi na dito mag-comment, diri lang. I hope you got that. Okay? So ano liwat ang i-comment nyo? Name, section, then ang time kung saan o nag-appear ang inyong ngalan. Alright? So maisip lang ko, taga-appear, taga-flash ang name nyo, maisip lang ko 1 to 3. 1 to 10. Okay? After 1 to 10, i-comment nyo dapat ang ma-proceed na ko. Kuhaon ko na ang picture. Okay? Ang list nyo, kuhaon ko na. So, tandaan nyo kung sa ano nga minute and seconds nag-appear ang inyo nga list. Alright? So, amo na. Okay? So, example, 1 minute and 02, amo na, 1 minute and 02 seconds, dash, 1 minute and 10 seconds. So, amo naman ang inyo i-comment. Alright? So, hindi na ako magpa-code-code kung ano na lang oras or minute nag-appear ang inyong ngalan. Alright? So, amo na. So, kuhaan ko na ni siya kay sobrang na 10 seconds. Now, we're going to proceed with kundiman and harana. What is kundiman and harana? Is there a difference between the two? Okay? So, of course, there is a difference between the two. Now, we're going to talk about it. Ihulag ko lang ako nga. You are most likely familiar with this musical form if you love listening to love songs. Okay? Kundiman is a musical form. It is a musical form that is a product of Spanish colonization. An art song signifies love and affection for someone. It is an art song, okay, that signifies or it symbolizes, okay, or it talks about love and affection for someone. It is performed as a solo vocal composition. Okay? So, kita nyo na, class, ang, mga kundima na bala, class, okay? Usually, siya, class, it is a love song, okay? And, to express your love and affection for someone. And usually, isa lang ang ga-perform, so that's why it's solo. Combined with an instrumental accompaniment. Many kundiman songs were often used for traditional courtship. So, class, tandaan nyo, ang kundiman niya, class, is a type of a song. Okay? Ang harana, we're going to talk about it, dugay-dugay. Anong example sang kundiman? Okay, example na is kay Nicanor S. Abelardos, Nasaan Ka Irog? Alright? And Dr. Santiago's Pakiusap. Now, you can search it over the YouTube, okay? Kung paano nyo, kung ano na klase mo Nasaan Ka Irog or Pakiusap, alright? Kaya para mabalaan nyo kung ano man ang meaning sang kundiman. Harana is often mistaken for kundiman, okay? Kaya ano yung harana? Harana is a traditional courtship ritual in the Philippines. Ang difference nila, class, ang kundiman niya, class, is a type of a song. Alright? Kag ang harana niya, class, is a type of a ritual. Okay? A ritual that is a courtship. Okay? Or pagpangaluyag. Kag ang ginakanta sa harana is kundiman song. Alright? So, I hope naklaruhan na kamo. Okay? Almost any love song can be sung during the harana, including kundiman song. So, wala man na class ang magharana ka, class. Wala man ang class nga gina-confine ka or gina-limit ka nga imo kantahon dapat kundiman song lang. Okay? So, pwede ka makakanta yung mga pop song, pop music, mga ano pa na mga rock. Okay? Kung ang haranahan mo bala, class, do ano man, do babae, man nga do rockstar, okay? So, harana ka man, class, do medyo metallica man nga klase sang song, kaya basi amo na yan namian, okay? Pero as long as nga nagharana ka, nagkanta ka sa tubangan niya or whatsoever, sa guwa nito sang balay, okay? That is what we call harana, alright? So, kung makanta ka man nga kundiman song, or rock song, or pop song, okay lang ginaya, okay? As long as gaobra ka harana, alright? Do you know any song that is best for a harana? Okay? Ako may nabalaan ko, class. Pero hindi ko pagyambal. Next, nowadays, there are wide array of songs that are used for harana. As what I said, mga pop music, R&B, pwede na siya. Mga reggae, di ba? Pwede na siya. Next, let's go and know about ballad. What is ballad? When you hear that a song is ballad in genre, okay, ano ganing genre, is, or a type, okay, magamit kita genre, daw type siya, or daw classification siya, or category siya, okay? So when you hear that a song is ballad in genre, what comes into your mind? Okay? Kita mo yung class ang mga ballad. Okay? So first, let's know anay ang mga ballad, ang ballad. The ballad is traditionally a song that narrates an event in a community. So class, tandaan nyo na class, you really need to have an idea that a ballad, it talks about a story. Okay? A ballad talks about an event in a community that happened already. So muna class, kung gusto mo magkanta, class nga daw, kantahon mo kung anong natabo sa election, for example, okay, or sa natabo sa pagpangaluyag mo sa iya, okay, kag himuan mo kanta, kaya mo nang natabo, then that's a story and that's a ballad. Okay, that's why class, as what you're familiar with, may ara kita term nga balladeer, right? Ang mga ginatawag na bala natin ng mga singer, that they are referred to as balladeer because they really can tell a story out of a song. Okay? Kay ano gani, ang balladeer came from the word ballad. Alright? Kag ang ballad talks about a story. Okay? It is a song that narrates a story or talks a story. Okay? So munang mga balladeer kuno class, they are really good in conveying the message of the song, right? They are very good in expressing the right emotions sa ilang pagkanta, alright? The styles vary from region to region and from one ethnic tribe to another. Examples of it is Idangdang of Bukidnon, okay? So mga traditional sa klase nga mga examples. Liangkit parang Sabil of Tausug and Kumposo of the Ilonggos, right? Ang Kumposo class is a type of, kung i-ano nyo class, kung i-research na ang Kumposo ni Dandansoy bala, for example, alright? Ara na sa class, ang Dandansoy, it talks about a certain event, okay? Or a certain story. So, amo na class ang iyang example sang ballad. Alright? So, mga komposo class. Kita yun na class ang mga ang mga gahalad na bala class. Gahalad na class sa mga fiesta, gahambal-hambal na, okay? They're also using a term, okay, or ballad man gapon. Kaya talk man sila gapon. Right? So, story. Yoyo Villames' song entitled Magellan is a popular example of a ballad. Okay? So, ari siya. I-click ko. Okay? Pamatian natin. Alright?
Discovered by Magellan. They were sailing day and night across the big ocean until they saw a small Limasawa Island. Magellan landed in Limasawa at noon. The people met him very welcome on the shore. They did not understand the speaking they had done because Castilla get at waray-waray man. When Magellan landed in Cebu City, Raha Humabon met him, they were very happy. All people were baptized and built the Church of Christ, and that's the beginning of our Catholic life. When Magellan visited in Mactan to Christianize them everyone, but Lapu-Lapu met him on the shore and dragged Magellan to go back home. is very hard. Then the battle began at dawn. Bullets and spears versus guns and cannons. When Magellan was hit on his neck, he stumbled down and cried and cried. Oh, mother, mother, I am sick. Call the doctor very quick. Doctor, doctor, shall I die? Tell my mama, do not cry. Tell my mama, do not cry. Tell my mama, do not cry. That's the end of Magellan in the island of Mactan long time ago, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. So, um, you've read this, okay? Some of the events kuno that took place on how Yo-Yo okay, or Revillame, okay, narrated the story of how Magellan and Lapu-Lapu went into a battle. Okay, some of it kuno do hindi tuod and some of it do may mistakes. Okay, pero the essence of it, balaklas, ang message, it is really a ballad because it talks about a certain story, okay, or it talks about a certain event that happened in the society or community. Now we're going to proceed with chamber music. All right. So chamber music is a form of instrumental music composed by a small ensemble. Okay, amo na ako na magbasa. Ensemble, wherein each part is played by one player as opposed to an orchestra where a part is performed by a group of musicians. So there is a difference kuno class when it comes to orchestra and chamber music. Ang orchestra kuno ya class, ang isa ka part is performed by a group of musicians. Okay? Miskin ang isa lang ka part or ang isa ka music lang, okay, it is performed simultaneously by musicians or a group of musicians. However, in chamber music ya class, okay, each part, okay, is played by one player, okay, or by one musician, okay, using an instrument, for example, okay. So that's the difference between chamber music and orchestra. I hope you will remember it and you will take note of it. A group of 3 to 8 musicians usually performs it, ang orchestra. Okay, ang orchestra. Ang orchestra kung gina-perform usually isang 3 to 8 musicians. Okay? Then chamber music in the country was pioneered by Nicanor Abelardo. So tandaan nyo si Mr. Nicanor Abelardo. Okay? He is the proponent or he pioneered the chamber music in the Philippines. Alright? So in chamber music, amo ni siya class, a fiddler, pianist, and a cellist. Okay? So do medyo gamay lang sila. However, in orchestra ya, do damo, sila a group of fiddlers, cellist, and flutist. Alright? So let's go to chorale music. What is chorale music? Chorale music is a musical composition intended to be performed by a group of singers called a choir, of course. The choir is arranged according to voice categories such as soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. Okay? So may mga classifications when you engage yourself in a choir, right? So mga ga-enter sa choir, they are classified kung soprano sila, tenor, alto, and bass. The early choirs here in the Philippines performed in churches, singing religious hymns during the Mass. Nowadays, the most well-known school choir is the choral group of the University of the Philippines, the Philippine Madrigal Singers. The MADS, okay, or the Philippine Madrigal Singers, okay, MADS ila panawag, is one of the most awarded choral group in the country. Is one of the most awarded choral groups in the country and in the whole world. Okay, so here are they and how they perform.
Sibukan
All right, so that is how madrigal singers performed, and that is a choir. All right, so next, okay, some other well-known and international recognized choral groups in the Philippines include the Samiweng Singers of Lawag, Ilocos Norte, the University of Visayas Choral, and the Zamboanga Hermosa Choral. Here in Zanbi, we have Coro Handumanan, okay, and that's a choir. Next, liturgical music. What is liturgical music? Liturgical music is intended for Christian church services. Its early form was inspired by Jewish chants during their religious rituals. Okay? So, mga religion siya. Sa simbahan siya, usually gina-perform. Next, opera. What is opera? Opera is a combination of both music and theater. It is song drama that entails collaborative efforts of singers, dancers, choreographers, and composers. Okay, so there is a combination of music and theater. So there's acting, and the music is the main medium, okay, or the language nila nga ginahambal. One type of song found in opera is what we call aria, okay, which is a song sung in solo that portrays the character's emotional state. Okay? If you search aria over the internet, amo nang ginami naton. Ang aria na inablaklas ang dawga ang gin-perform ni Maika Basero sa may YouTube. Okay? If you want to search Maika Basero on YouTube, pwede ka na. Okay? Kay aria inaya gin-perform. Okay? And that's a part of opera. Next, pop music. What is pop music? Or pop music is a shortened term for popular music. Okay? Is used to describe music that is readily available to the broad populace. So, ang gina-enjoy natin ng mga kanta, subong balaklas, nga ma-stream natin online, through Spotify, through YouTube, or through any other platforms, okay, or ang naka-CD, nga mga naka-album, okay, that's what we call popular music. It is an umbrella term, magambag kita umbrella term class, though it is a general term, okay? So, sa general term gid sa. And under it, may mga branches siya. Okay? And do kumbaga do siya bala ang general gid ang main gid, okay, nga concept. Then there are different genres under pop music. These are examples: R&B, rap, rock, hip hop, etc. So damo pa gid. Okay? Then ari sa class, many critics look down on this type of music because some songs only gain recognition because of its popularity, not the quality. Okay? So kita nyo na class, sometimes may mga sikat ka mga kanta nga do mga wala pulos, balaklas, pareho sa mga wala ko gambal kasi wala ko gambal nga wala gini pulos. Pero when you just try to evaluate gid balaklas, o lang tawon mo gid ang story, ang meaning sa mga kanta ba nang ni balaklas, do wala siya class ang do hindi siya class manami balaklas ang iyang meaning, pero still sikat siya kay popular siya gani kag nami ang iyang nga tune, nami ang beat niya and everything. So sikat ang kanta, although ang quality sang kanta is not that good. Example na class ang pen pineapple pen, right? So, pen pineapple pen, miskin lang tawon mula ang pen pineapple pen, wala ka na may makuha nga message. Ano nang pen pineapple pen karon? Dugin ano-ano niya lang. However, because nagsikat siya kay naming beat and then yun ba trend siya, okay? In that manner, do natabunan class, okay? Or do na-focus na dira sa amo na nga kanta or sa amo na nga types ng kanta ang mga tao subong. Okay? And another consideration pagid, ang mga as long as nga sikat ang singer, Okay? As long as sikat ang singer pagid class, miskin hindi namin iya kanta class or do miskin wala sense iya kanta, still ginaano gyapon, popular siya gyapon, kay popular ang singer nga nagkanta kag sikat gid katama. Okay? So ano ay anang reason class nga amo nang rason class nga ang mga critics bala class of music tawag di do gina look down nila or do gina underestimate nila ang pop music because of that idea. Okay? Next, protest song. Anong protest songs? Okay? Protest songs are songs that bring to light injustices and inequality in the society. So sa ngalan pa lang, mas mabalaan mo na anong protest song, right? Though it talks about how we need to stand up as a citizen of a country, okay? Para sa aton nga rights, okay, and privileges, especially kung do ginatapakan na ang justice or ginatapakan ng aton nga rights, okay, and privileges man, okay? This seek to inspire nationalism and heroism from their listeners. Example of it, Bayan Ko. Bayan Ko, Bayan Ko, Bayan Ko. Okay, nagsample ko ha. Okay? Pero pwede naman na ma-search over the internet. Bayan Ko is one of the most popular and recognizable examples of a protest song. It was a collaboration between Jose Corazon de Jesus, tandaan nyo na, and Constancio de Guzman. This song is still used in many protest movements because of its strong emotional effect. Class, ang protest song usually ginagamit na siya class because amo na siyang ginagamit ng mga kanta because gaano siya class duga pa elevate siya bala class, duga pa pukaw siya sang emotion sa mga tao. Di ba ang bayan kung pamatian mo duga pa nanindog imo balahibo, then do ka life changing and everything kay sa beat niya, sa tune niya, sa lyrics niya, di ba? It creates a strong emotional effect sa tao nga makabati, okay? Or sa listener. Some protest songs tackle environmental issues such as the band Asin's protest pop song, Masdan ang Kapaligiran, then ang kay Glock 9 nga Nag-iisang Mundo. So damo pag ang mga protest song class, okay? That talks about an issue, okay? And it has a strong emotional effect to the listener. Alright? So now we're going to proceed with dance. So class, before kita mag-proceed sa next part sa aton lesson, ipakita ko anay na naman, diwat, ang iyasang tawag de. Ari siya. Okay? So, amo naman yung grupo. Okay? So, comment down ang ginpa-comment ko sa inyo nga ginambal ko gina sa instruction. Alright? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. It's done. Okay? So, dira ko class nga parte, ginhambal ang about sa amon sa tunga grupo. Okay? Then, ari naman ang sa group 3. Alright? So, amo ni siya. Comment down kung what time siya nag-appear. Alright, so that's group 3. So, now we're going to proceed with group 4. Ginabutangan ko lang interval. Alright? Sorry siya. Awan tagi dabi kung kalantaw ka mo video. Kay class gabi nagita ko sa effort kaya class oh. Ngay uniform pa ko class oh, mis kinaka-pajama pa ko ni sa dalom. Comment mo tawa niyo man. Luwi ka mo. Alright, so that's it. That's it for part 1. Okay? On the part 2 of this video, I'm going to present dance and theater for the part 2 of this lesson. Alright?